as a ministry, as a government, for the last 52 days, contrary to what the union would want everybody to believe. And therefore, if the government has made the allowances of that CBA less 42,000 shillings in its entirety, we have agreed to upgrading the doctors within the old structure, a job group hire each one of them, and then on top of that, come July, the recommendation of SRC are to be effected, which raises further the payment of doctors. Then we can only conclude that it is not in their wish that the suffering of Kenyans stops. And therefore, mine is to be able to let Kenyans know those discussions have come to no conclusion. We as a government will continue to engage with the county governments to improve the services which are being given using all aspects we can, to engage other partners across the country to be able to make sure Kenyans do receive services, no matter how many more they have, until we resolve that matter and we use other alternative methods to ensure that the services which require a doctor are restored to the people. We shall be having a meeting on Friday with the CECs across the counties to continue to plan and to release more details on what we have to do as national government and county government. I want to say that discussions with the nurses are proceeding well to conclude their CBA. The clinical officers and other cadres, a meeting took place at the Council of Governors, and they called off the intended strike, and we believe in 2 weeks we will be able to reach an understanding with the cadre, those cadres, about 17 of them, so that services can continue. I want Kenyans to know we have done everything possible, both in agreeing to the demands of the doctors, both financially and also in the other aspects which were articulated in that CBA. And I want to share with you that document so that you can be able to interrogate it. I think it's highly unfortunate that we find ourselves in this situation. I know apologies do not mean much because Kenyans are suffering, but we have to take it in stride. When a section of Kenyans decides to withdraw services irrespective of the reach which government is making to address their issues. Indeed, we did agree that even having an organization to look at their issues within the context of the Public Service Commission is an option which is worth trying. Therefore, in the context of devolved government, mine is to advise the counties to continue with the measures they are taking, and also documentation of what is happening in the counties, so that we can be able to interrogate that information on Friday to see what contingent measures we can put in place and what other plans we can have. Therefore, I'll stop there and request for any question.
Mark Namasa from KTN News. My question concerns the officials of KMPDU that you are authorized under the law to conduct negotiations with. What happens if they are thrown in jail on Thursday? Whom will you discuss with on Friday?
Well, as I said, they said they'll come back to the ministry on Friday. It's up to them to organize themselves and present a team which is acceptable to them. I cannot speculate on what will happen on Thursday.
Yes. My name is Luca from People Daily. I have a question. The doctors are saying, like, when they came for the 3:30 meeting, this 30 p.m. meeting today, you came up with a new CBA with without the input. This regarding the 2013 one which is being contested. Is it true that you ambushed them with the new CBA?
No, actually the document which I gave them is the document we discussed on 17th and 18th, and the rest we accepted the old CBA the way it was. There was no need to change those facts, because if it is the document in terms of the general body which will enable Kenyans to get services, as a ministry made a conscious decision there's no need to continue amending the document which is acceptable in terms of the general body of that document. Therefore, you will interrogate it, and if they have given you the old one, you compare and contrast. So they didn't even read it, because we were expecting to go through it. They walked away after that, irrespective of meeting their needs, the request which they had made. So there's nothing new. And they didn't read it. Therefore, at that point in time, nobody could say this document is changed or is different. And it's up to you to interrogate that document.
So they June from KBC, they did not give any reason as they were walking away as to why they hadn't even read the new proposal was given, and they